Welcome back to this week's episode of West Talk. I'm your host this week, Dustin. Will be joining us a little later with his own interview as well, but I'm here this week to start things off. And we have a guest in the studio today to talk about something that's very important to a lot of parents in the community and in and around Corner Brook. And that, of course, is safe schools. So I have with me Sabrina Ellsworth. She is with the Community Advocacy for Safe Schools. Sabrina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sabrina, first of all, tell me a little bit about what Community Advocacy for Safe Schools is all about.
So we are a group of parents, grandparents, community members, people from the general public who have concern and interest in protecting our children within this community. We've met it's a fairly brand new committee, just started in March. We've met 4 times in the last few weeks, and we're very hopeful that this group will start some conversation and hopefully some change within the school here in Corner Brook.
So you started as a group on Facebook, right?
We did, yeah.
So what led to you starting it as a group on Facebook, and I guess how many members did you get before you decided, you know what, we need to make this a little bit more of an official group to advocate for change? What led to that? So
I started the Facebook group as a plea, I guess, and to raise some awareness about the situation at Corner Brook Intermediate. My son had been severely bullied at the school for quite some time. He was in grade 8, and he has been challenged in coping and just going to school on a regular basis. And the more and more I heard from him, the more I realized we had to do something, and we needed to see what other parents were experiencing. And when I created the group, several families, parents had contacted me and expressed how they have been also impacted by the bullying and the violence, and just how their children are not okay either. Right. And it was really alarming and scary. It is, as a parent, to send your child to an environment where there's consistent lockdowns, arrests, drug trafficking, police are there every day. Children are scared to death. And the more I heard from parents, the more I knew we needed to formalize something and think of an approach to work with the school and the school board to try to implement some change. It's scary, and to me, going to bed at night thinking that something bad is going to happen at that school, it's just a matter of time, did not sit well with me at all.
Now, you mentioned one particular school, Corner Brook Intermediate, but speaking to the parents in this group, have you encountered parents who had issues with other schools as well? I would imagine this is probably something that isn't just restricted to one school. Nor would I imagine, of course, your advocacy for safe schools would be restricted to just one school as well, right?
It started with our school, with CBI, because this is the community that we're in. It's the age group that seems to be the most impacted. The adolescents, the 12 to 14-year-old, 15-year-old are very
just learning who they are.
Yeah, it's a very delicate age, and they are, seeing and experiencing things that is far beyond what a child of that age cohort should be seeing, and they don't have the mental capacity to process it or understand it. And it seems to be the big school. This is a very big school. This is 700 children for 3 grades. Yeah. And the supports that are there, like 2 guidance counselors, is not near enough to handle the needs of that school. There's 8 itinerants, which again, 700 children. It's a lot of children at that age group that just, the resources just, in our opinion, in our group, in the conversations we've had amongst each other, just isn't adequate. And the children are really suffering. So there are many families that I know have removed their children from the school. whether they move to another community, which I'm aware of a few, but they've also moved to, if they have the option, they move to the private school, which has been a fantastic experience as well for us. But they're not going to school. There's some children that are actually not going to school. A parent just this week said, I had to pull him, and he's home, and he's not going to school, and he's in grade 8.
Right.
And these children are falling through the cracks, and they're not getting the support that they need. And children, as we know, and as a parent, we worry, and they are our future, this province's future, and it's scary.
So in the pursuit to advocate for safe schools, have you and I guess the members of this group reached out to the school board or to the schools to discuss some of these concerns and issues?
Yes, so several members of our group have reached out individually before this group was formed, and they had a few meetings and some correspondence. I myself had made a few phone calls, and but I have not really heard anything back from the school, but I do feel like they are taking the messaging very seriously. And, I hope the fact that being on the school council as a community member and having this group, that we will implement a positive strategy for change that involves the collective and a path forward.
Right, so working, I guess, with the schools and the community to create and develop a plan to address these issues.
That's what I'm hoping for, and whether or not that be help the school raise, funding, or put parents in the school as chaperones to engage with the mental health services, is some way to liaison and coordinate and fundraise and just advocate for the school and to somehow get more resources there. Right. To help our children.
So this isn't an attack on the school or even the
Not
school
at all.
system, as much as it is a desire to help the school.
Yes.
And in turn help the students.
Absolutely. I'm definitely not blaming anyone. I believe everybody is doing the best of their ability, and I just want to work with them and everybody within our group, and we have probably 15 active members that come weekly, and then, like I said, 300 plus that are following the Facebook group, all very positive. And everybody recognizes and acknowledges that the experiences have been awful, and blaming and accusing and going that route is not effective, and we need to sit and think about how we can work with the school and the school board to make a change, and support the children. And it's not just in the school, but outside of the school as well. And engaging with the YMCA has been very positive, and they're very willing to work with us as well, and actually is the location for our meetings on a weekly basis. So, we're thankful for that. But we are very hopeful that when we reach out in this more formal way, that it will be well received, and we should see some plans in action, hopefully.
Yeah, now you mentioned you have a son that went through Corner Brook Intermediate, and he was experiencing a lot of this, but it sounds like you might have some experience as well. Were you the victim of bullying?
Absolutely, yeah, I definitely was.
So you completely understand the victimhood.
I do, and how it impacts children for their entire lives. And there are things that you experience and witness that, it stays with you, and it will change your personality, and it's devastating to think that children have to go through this and to be impacted for their lives.
So what kind of a response do you think you're going to get from the school and the school board itself when you officially reach out with that letter, describing not only the concerns and issues, but some of the ideas and plans that you think could help the school and school board system? What do you think responses are going to be, and are you hopeful?
I'm very hopeful. The community does play a role in the school development plan, in the Safe and Caring Schools policy. I think our group needs to be integrated into those plans. We need to be active members of the school council. We need them to be, the representatives and the officials from the school board also need to come and hear from the families who are there and experiencing this side of things. I know the Teachers Association has spoke out recently as well, and the voices of the teachers are being heard as well. I mean, the teachers themselves have had struggles and have not been able to really get their message out over the last number of years, and finally that's happening also. So it's you know, I feel like it's all come to a head now, and that we're at a place of change, and we need to really look at the big picture and come up with a really, you know, solid plan as to how we can make things better for both the teachers and the children.
Yeah, so your message isn't just to the school board, right? It's to the teachers, to the faculty, but it's also to the community, the parents, the students, and so on. What would you say would be, I guess, if there was an underlining message that your group was advocating for, what would the underlining message to the community, to the public be?
It would certainly be that, you know, violence and bullying is not okay, and that we have a role to play in our children's education and their future, and, you know, we have to step up and take an active role. And the teachers need our help, the school system need our help, and it's time is how I feel. Yeah.
So as we mentioned at the top of it, this all started with a Facebook group. Is the Facebook group still active? Do you still have it? So what's the name of the group that people want to look for this group on Facebook?
It's Community Advocacy for Safe Schools.
Okay.
Yep.
And they can find that on Facebook, and of course from there, be an active, engaging member of that group?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we encourage, our meetings are open right now, weekly, to anybody who wants to, you know, participate, express their stories, you know, provide, you know, the other members provide support and information. That's been another real benefit of the group, is telling other families and other members what the support is within the community to help with mental health and different types of programs that exist, the Autism Society. There are different things in the community that some people are not even aware of. So this group has been a really good information sharing mechanism as well. So I definitely encourage people to join and to come to a meeting and chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Sabrina. So that's Sabrina Ellsworth with the Community Advocacy for Safe Schools. Check that group out on Facebook. Whether you're a parent, a teacher, or even a student, if you want to be a part of this Advocacy for Safe Schools, check them out. It's Community Advocacy for Safe Schools on Facebook, and be a part of helping improve, I guess, the school system and the education system for our future generations that are going to be leaders of this community. So be sure to do that. In the meantime, we're going to head over to Dustin now. Dustin has a gentleman with him that he met with who is running across the entire country. It's a very interesting interview. So here it is with Dustin.
So why volunteer at Rogers TV? Well, it's fun, exciting, and challenging. You can develop practical, hands-on skills in TV production, make new friends, and have fun, all while giving back to your community. For a few hours a week, you can be part of a great team making great local television. Want to find out more? Get in touch with us at rogerstv.com. Make your mark and find a new passion as a Rogers TV volunteer.
Last week or so, I was hit up by a good friend over in Nova Scotia named Bradley Epp. And Bradley was a videographer with East Coast Lifestyle, one of Canada's top clothing brands. We met recently, and he let me know that a friend of his is endeavoring to take on a massive, massive challenge and would be running across Canada doing 75 kilometers a day for about 100 days. And he was starting his journey off in St. John's, in the same place that Terry Fox did so many years ago, and thought that it would be a good idea to connect with this gentleman. This man's name is Ryan Keeping, and obviously an impressive athlete who is known for challenging himself by those who know him, and is now definitely taking on his biggest challenge to date. And so we're very lucky today to have Ryan on the line. We're filming this last Tuesday, so at this point Ryan is still in Newfoundland. He's going to be speaking to us from his van, and at the time of airing right now, on this Tuesday evening, Ryan should be on the other side of the ferry in Nova Scotia. So first of all, Ryan, are you there with me, buddy?
Yep, I'm here with you, and I just want to say thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. We don't want to take up too much of your time because I don't want to kill the flow and the pace that you have going here. Obviously, if you're doing stuff like this all day, you wouldn't be getting very far. But if you can, just right off the top, give our viewers a quick introduction. Who is Ryan Keeping, and why are you running across the country, man?
Yeah, of course. So, name's Ryan Keeping, ultramarathon runner from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I mean, for as long as I can really remember, I've always been pretty obsessed with like pushing my limits, especially physically. So, I mean, Terry Fox is always one of my biggest motivations. I got into ultra running probably about 2 years ago, and pretty much as soon as I got into it, I always had the idea like I wanted to run across Canada. I wanted to promote Terry Fox as being like the greatest Canadian of all time. So it was a ton of training, pretty much like a year and a half full-time training. The last 6 months, like quit my job, took out a line of credit, bought a van, completely dedicated my life to this, and decided to run across Canada and raise money for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. I picked the Heart and Stroke Foundation because there's so many members of my family that have heart disease. So I kind of figured like Terry Fox, his why was cancer, it affected him. So I looked for mine, and clearly in my family, I was kind of the only one without heart disease. So I'm sort of doing this run for people that can't, and we decided to do 75 kilometers a day for 99 days. That gets you across Canada in under 100 days. So that was kind of the goal there with the 99 days. And we're on day 9 right now, feeling really good in the back of my van right now. So as you guys can see, close, tight quarters in here. But yeah, it's been going really good. And the support has been absolutely incredible so far. I think we've raised like $29,000. I think my Instagram following went from like 10,000 followers to I think 75,000. So really, it's been an amazing experience, and I've been loving the people in Newfoundland so far. Like they're all the best. People let me stay at their house, been cooking me meals, been putting care packages on the side of the highway. So really, I can't thank everybody enough for getting behind this.
Amazing. Yeah, it's really incredible to watch the response that you're getting, how fast things have grown and snowballed. And I mean, to me, you're still just in Newfoundland, right? You're in one of the least populated provinces that you're going to run through. And to see that this is how much support that you're getting, how much things have built in just the last 9 days, it's absolutely incredible. Ryan, one question I want to ask you is, before you took this challenge on, how normal would it have been for you to run 75 kilometers in a day? Like, is that, as an ultra runner, is that something that you've done, you know, time and time again? Not every day, but like just in terms of distance, that's obviously an extreme distance. That's almost 2 marathons a day. But is that normal for you or what?
I was averaging in training like 200, 250 kilometers a week. So I was running a lot. But I mean, 75 kilometers a day is definitely way different from that. Like, I think my longest week I ever did until this was like, I think 270 kilometers. And now I'm doing like 525. So last week was like my longest week by far. But I mean, I've done, I think last summer I probably did like 600-mile races in 6 months and did a bunch of really long races. So I've definitely done 75K before. But I mean, day after day after day after day, this is definitely new territory for me.
And it's clear that, I mean, I think this, like any severe, really big endurance challenge, there's a big physical training component to it, but I mean, this must be more of a mental game, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I kind of took the mindset into this of like, I'm not even really concerned with physically how I feel. I kind of just make sure I'm mentally good. Because I was aware going into this, it's like within 2 or 3 days, you're going to be exhausted. Yeah. And then it's not really going to get any better most of the time. So you just have to keep like, we've been laughing and joking, and you got to have fun with it really, right? So it's, and I mean, I kind of know now that like I'm running, it's not just me running. Like I know there's tons of people inspired. There's people sending me messages saying, hey man, I went out and did my first run ever because of you. Or there's even like elementary school kids drawing pictures of me or telling me they did their homework because of me. Like it's took on, like, it almost feels like all of Canada is behind this message. So when it gets hard, I definitely think of all the people I'm inspiring, and you know, it makes me keep going for sure.
Yeah, dude. Like, look, I think I messaged you the other day. I went on the 3rd run of my life, my 36 years. I've never ran. Like, I like to hike and stuff, but the thought of running never really clicked in. And it's because I thought I just couldn't. And then I thought, okay, well, if Ryan can run 75 kilometers every day across this province, my home province, then surely I can get out and do 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers. So just yesterday I was out and ran 8 kilometers, which is basically a record in my life. But today I woke up feeling like so sore, dude. My knee is swollen up, man. My hip is killing me. And I thought like, oh my God, this is probably how Ryan feels, you know, after running 75 kilometers in the day. And so, yeah, it's just so crazy. I know that you can't be waking up in the morning, especially sleeping in a van, feeling like all brisk and, you know, and limber. So absolutely, I don't know. It's super inspiring, and I can see the type of people who are coming out to greet you on the highway and things like that. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. Now, tell me a little bit about the sort of support that you have around you here and like the logistics of getting you across this country. Tell me about your team.
Yeah, the support has been phenomenal so far. I mean, we've had my dad driving the van for me pretty much full time. Like, we're not getting a lot of sleep, so I almost feel bad for him sometimes, but it's like the support means everything. Like, I got 2 videographers with me. They're going to be coming with me across the country. And I know, like, once my dad leaves, I'm going to have other friends joining in. So really, it's a team effort. And I almost say sometimes the easy part is to just do the run. And the hard part is all the stuff behind the scenes, making sure that food's cooked for me, or making sure the van's warm in the morning, like, or
Yeah.
it's almost like I want to be mindless in doing this. I want, like, everyone else is kind of looking after me like I'm a baby or something. Like, I just run, and then the team really helps me handle, like, the social media and everything, right? So
Yeah.
without the team, the message wouldn't even get out there. Like, if we didn't have the videographers with us, this message wouldn't be seen, and it would honestly be a shame, because the message can inspire people, right? So the team means everything.
It seems like in comparison to some other people who have maybe tried a similar challenge, things are really sticking with you, and like in terms of the following, the success with the fundraising already at this point, things seem to be going very well for you. But if you can hear me, how do you find this balance of like running all day and doing this, and then obviously when you finish your run, you must have thousands of messages, you must have lots of people who want to talk to you, you must have people who want to stop you on the highway to talk. How do you balance that? You know, how do you find the time for that?
Well, you just don't sleep a lot, really. I mean, I kind of know, like, my next 90, like, it's almost like I know what I've got myself into, and almost doing it all and seeing the messages coming in and being really busy, it almost inspires me, right? Like, I see all these people messaging me, and it's just cool to see the impact I'm having, and that's really all I want to do in my life, man, is motivate and inspire people. So if my next 99 days I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep a night and I'm super busy, I'm already mentally prepared for it. So it's really, the answer is just give up sleep.
Right, just no sleep for 100 days and revisit the sleep
and then
idea.
I can sleep after. I'll sleep for 3 days in a row.
How old are you, by the way, if I could ask?
26.
Right on. Wow. And so I don't want to, since you've taken the time to chat with me now, again, for the viewer, you're now have successfully ran through Newfoundland, and you are now in Nova Scotia, making your way across the rest of the country. You're over 10% of the way done your run. Talk about the fundraising piece, and for people who are watching, people who are inspired, how can they best contribute to you and what you're doing?
Yeah, so the fundraising, as I said, we're raising money for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. And originally I set the goal $100,000. I thought $100,000 would be amazing. If I could reach that, I'd be super happy. And we're like 9 days in, almost at 30. So I have no idea how much we're going to raise now, but the more the better. And if anyone wants to get involved, like, probably the easiest way is just go on my Instagram or my YouTube, or I got a website, kind of on every social media platform. And either, like, for one, if you have the money, like, it's a donation's amazing, but if not, I mean, just come on down and run with me, or share this with your friends, or just really any way you can support means the world to me. And I know if I'm running through, like, your community or whatever, like, come on down and run, and yeah, really just share the message and hop on board and just go out for a run if you're watching this, or go do some sort of physical activity or something, right? I think it's really important for everyone to do that.
Yeah, well, that's a very important point, right? Again, doing this for Heart and Stroke, it's one thing to raise money for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. It's another thing to inspire people to do the activities that can help them live a healthier life and then maybe avoid heart disease and things like that. So it's definitely a great double-pronged approach. Ryan, I'm going to let you get back to your run, buddy. Is there any final message that you'd love to say to to our viewers here in Western Newfoundland?
I mean, really, I guess the message I would have is if you have a dream, chase it down, because really that's all I did with this. Like, I trained full time for this run. I quit my job to do this. I kind of just bet all on myself, and so far to this point, I'm actually shocked with how well everything has came together. So really, anybody watching this, if there's any dream you have, I would tell you to go chase that, because I have never been happier in my life, and it feels really good to be making a positive impact and just seeing the message be heard. So yeah, really chase your dreams.
Amazing, Ryan. Thank you so much for that, buddy. I would love to do this again when you finish up in another 90 days or so. If we could hop back on and do a little recap of your journey, that would mean a lot to us. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to.
Well, hopefully we'll see you tonight. Get back out on the road and run safe, and we will be chatting. And thank you very much for inspiring all of us Newfoundlanders this week.
Yeah, you guys I can't thank the Newfies enough, man. You guys, it's crazy, the support.
Wicked.
Anyway, we'll see you later.
Okay, and that is Ryan Keeping, ultramarathon runner from Nova Scotia, running across our country in 99 days. Keep an eye out for him. If you've got friends or family anywhere in Canada, you should tell them to go follow Ryan right now and keep in touch and follow along, so that when he's coming through their town, they can go out, give him a high five, give him a sandwich, give him a place to sleep, whatever it is.
All right, that's a wrap for this week's show of West Talk. I want to thank Dustin and his guest for their interview, and I want to thank for our in-studio guest, Sabrina Ellsworth, with the Community Advocacy for Safe Schools. Be sure to check them out on Facebook. Until next time, bye for now.
Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Email us at comments@rogerstv.com or visit our website.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Buckle up, we're cleared for takeoff. Here we go, boys, here we go. 16 teams, one champion for the greatest trophy in sports. You know why I'm here. A time for new heroes to be born. This is a guy who wants to get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
This is what I'm here for.
Stanley Cup champions!
I'm here. I'm here for the Stanley Cup.
They've reached the summit!
I'm here to win.
The Stanley Cup playoffs, here we go!
You're watching Rogers TV.
Our family used to be so fun. Now my brother takes care of me. I miss Mom and Dad being around more. Mom says things are going to get better.